Are we recording?
Yeah, you ask that every time. It's not funny anymore.
You know, I don't think you ever found me funny.
Okay, that's true. Um, Introduce yourself.
Oh yeah. Hi, I'm Wren.
Hi, I'm Go, and I'm hosting this episode, which is a nice change of pace because that means we're doing something I want to do, and
This is the stupid. Whatever you've got planned is the stupidest idea.
no, I agree. I actually agree. This is a really stupid idea because what we're going to be doing today is personality test.
Okay, but don't we have the same personality?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Because like we do talk the same. Yeah, everyone knows that we talk the same.
Right.
But do we think the same?
I mean, yes?
Well, but we hate each other. Maybe we're actually individuals. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever think that maybe I am not like you?
But, well, that's true. You're not as good as me. But I thought you were just like the less good version of me.
Yeah, you really are unlikable, aren't you? Anyway, we're doing personality test today, so we're gonna do the 16 personality test, and this might be terrible. This might not work. We might have all the same answers to everything. But last week, we didn't have the same answers to everything. In fact, we had mostly opposite answers to everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't think about that. I just thought you were just like somehow wrong, you know?
You just you're just more you start off the episode always more annoying. I think you'll mellow up at the end of the episode. You like spending time with me.
So anyway, so how many questions is this? How much time is this gonna take? I have things to do.
That's absolutely not true. You don't have things to do.
That
You're a liar.
I'm okay. I don't have things to do, but I
Yeah.
no. I guess that's it. I guess I'm just here for you hosting an episode. It's very strange to not be in control. I just want to take control.
Well, if it's that important to you, you can answer first, and then that's almost like hosting.
Okay, so we're on. Um, what website is this?
Say, okay, maybe I should host for this bit. So we're on 16personalities.com, because there are 16 personality types, which means we could be completely the same or completely opposite or somewhere in between.
Right, I guess so. And let's just. Can we just get into it?
Okay.
Question 1. You enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people. That is not correct. I'm gonna all the way disagree.
You know, I'm gonna all the way disagree as well. I hate even thinking about that. So far, we're identical.
We're identical. This is gonna be a really boring episode if it turns out that we're identical. So,
Yes, it is. But be honest with your answers.
okay. I can be honest. Why would I lie about myself? I want to know. I kind of really want to know now.
Are you getting into it? Good. Question 2.
You often spend time exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas. I mean, yeah, I think we both do this. I think right now, as we speak, we are exploring an unrealistic yet intriguing idea.
Oh, I like how you said that. I'm gonna sneeze.
How long have you been sick now?
It's coming at like 3 months or something. I don't know what it is. I think I'm just like allergic to being alive or something like that, because it's just not going away.
So I'm gonna answer for the next question that yes, I spend a lot of time doing that, but like maybe not the most time.
I think I spend the most time doing that.
Okay, well, that makes sense for you. You're more of a exploring unrealistic things, and you'll like commit to that as well. You'll like go and try and do an unrealistic thing.
Yeah, you've gotta try, you know? Anyway. Question 3. No, you'll take question 3.
Okay, question 3. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary. No. No. I like uh, a detailed itinerary. I like a complete list of knowing exactly what I want to do.
You know, I don't really want either. I guess I'd agree that it's going to be a rough list of ideas, but really I wouldn't want any ideas at all.
Just none?
Well, no, like, if I was traveling, that would be the list. That's it, just travel. And then everything else is kind of, there's just less pressure to do stuff if you haven't planned it.
No, I find the opposite. I find if you don't write anything down, then you've got the additional pressure of trying to find something to do. Whereas if you've got a nice detailed list, that all that work is done for you, and then you just do it.
Yeah, I just don't want to do that.
Okay, fine. Question whatever this is. You often think about what you should have said in a conversation long after it's taken place. Absolutely not. I say exactly what I'm thinking when I'm thinking it, and if I don't say it to you, then after the fact, I'm probably just gonna think it wasn't worth saying.
No, I think I'm in the middle for this one. I think I do kind of think about things I should have said and things I shouldn't have said. Um, Not long after it's taken place. I'm kind of very much a let's not have any regrets. Let's not have any regrets kind of person. I'm like, if it's done, it's done, and we're just gonna move on kind of thing.
That's not great for interpersonal relationships, you know, like if you really like piss someone off, you should kind of regret that.
And look who's talking right now because you do that constantly and don't seem to ever regret it or change how you act.
Is this is going back to the because you think I'm rude. So, okay, you're just calling me rude. Well, I hope you regret this later, but not for a long time. Just a short while after that.
I'm not going to regret this at all, but I am going to ask the next question. If your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally, not try and solve their problems. I would agree with that. For me, I think like I'm not going to try and work out what you should do. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to tell you that I'm there for you while you're working it out.
Well, I would actually quite like you to tell me how to do stuff, so I don't have to work it out myself. But okay. For me, I don't really emotionally support other people at all. I'm very, uh,
Needy?
well, e- mm, I'm trying to think what my first instinct would be for someone else. Can you imagine if you were sad, like what I would do?
You would, okay, firstly, you wouldn't notice,
Mhm.
and then I would probably tell you,
Mhm.
and you wouldn't care,
Mhm.
so you definitely wouldn't try to solve my problems.
There we go. So I agree that I would be supporting you emotionally rather than solving your problems.
I think you should, I think you should put yourself more in the middle, more in the neutral category, because you don't do that whole empathizing thing well.
Fine, fine, I'll do that. People can rarely upset you. Okay, that's true. No one can upset me. I don't care what they think. That's all the way agree.
I'm gonna, I don't know, I feel like if I was gonna be upset easily, you probably would have upset me by now. So I'm probably in the middle.
Okay, great. So we made it to the end of the first page. I'm proud of us.
Uh, how many pages are there?
Well,
There's a little progress bar down the bottom that shows that we're 10% done, so I'm gonna guess that there's 10 pages.
um, should we whiz through this next one?
Okay, you often rely on other people to be the ones to start a conversation and keep it going. For me, agree. I'm doing a really good job in this podcast, but usually I wouldn't be talking this much.
For me, I think also agree actually a little bit. There's part of me that's just like, if they don't start the conversation, they're kind of not worth. It's so much effort.
Right.
It's a lot of effort to start a conversation with someone, and some people find it really easy. So I'm glad for them to just start the conversation. So
But I pretty agree with that. If you have to temporarily put your plans on hold, you make sure it's your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible. Okay, disagree. If I'm pushed off the track, I kind of just stay off the track. because I'll take it as like a sign that I'm supposed to be doing something else.
No, I like that. You're a very free spirit. But for me, I guess I kind of one of us needs to get stuff back on track, because otherwise I feel like these episodes would really get off track.
These episodes do get off track.
Okay, you make a point. So maybe I'm not as good as getting back on track as soon as possible as I think I am. But I do try. Is it my top priority? No, I try a little bit. You rarely worry if you made a good impression on someone you met. Agree. I don't care. I don't give a crap. If you hate me, if you genuinely hate me, like that's your prerogative. That's that's like some people just hate each other, and I'm not gonna try and fight that, and I'm not gonna try and stop that. You know?
No, I get that. That's actually quite mature. But I definitely worry about it. I worry about it constantly. That's all I'm thinking about. Even you, I even cared about your opinion of me.
Huh. I'll take that.
Yeah, as it turns out, I actually don't really value your opinion now as much as I did when we first met because, um,
Okay. This is mean.
no, because it's just like you're. I don't think we naturally get along.
Okay. So
It's just like you said before, like some people just naturally don't get along, and you can't fight against that. But I still worried about it when I was making a first impression.
okay, I get you. So you're worried about first impression, but then after that, you agree with me that kind of you can't fight if you just naturally hate each other.
Right, exactly. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored. Disagree. I do that all the time.
I would I would disagree as well. I also do that all the time. We do that together. Um, and we certainly don't talk or communicate during those times. We just
Yeah, a weekend alone is great. I think it's necessary.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I've spent weeks alone before.
I mean, like completely alone, like without talking online and without like pets and stuff, would be after a while you'd start to be like, how much time has passed? Am I still alive? You know?
okay, you go there really fast every time.
Yeah, but it's just like so like, but I don't think that would happen in a weekend. I think it would take longer than that for me to go into that zone.
Do you think so? Because you went there straight away.
Maybe I should change my answer then.
No, I think go with your first instinct with this. You're more of a detail-oriented than a big picture person. No. I'm big picture person.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely big picture person as well. I like the details, but I don't think about them.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, it's like when someone else has put the detail, like work into it, I'm like, oh, that's nice, but that's nice as part of the big picture. I think you should really focus on that, and then the details kind of fall into place.
I don't think that's true, but sure, we're going with our first instinct, so sure. You are very affectionate with people you care about. I would slightly agree with this.
I haven't seen any of that.
No, you haven't. It says people you care about.
I would say I'm not affectionate with people I care about. So you wouldn't even know if I cared about you.
Well, wait, no. Was that a no? That almost sounded like you said something nice about me.
I didn't mean it to. You just, you projected. You have a careful and methodical approach to life. That's hard.
Yeah, that's hard. I don't know the answer to that. I would say I disagree. I don't think I've ever thought about life in a careful and methodical way.
I think I'm careful. I don't think I'm methodical. Maybe I'll go in the middle.
You are still bothered by the mistakes you made a long time ago. Well, no, see, I said earlier, like, I just don't hold on to the regrets and stuff. It's very. They just really get you down if you keep thinking about them forever. You just have to move on.
No, I agree. I don't really think I make a lot of mistakes. I think I kind of stand by everything that I say and do.
That's not. That's not. That's not healthy.
No, it's not, but that's my one character flaw.
I thought your one character flaw was.
You know, we don't need to list them. We're just gonna disagree and move on to the next question, okay? At parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action.
I'd agree. I wouldn't even be at a party.
No, yeah, I agree. I also wouldn't be there.
Or I'm trying to picture like my ideal party. I still wouldn't want to be in the middle.
Right. You want to kind of be on the outside so that you can like get away from it if you need to.
Exactly. You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them. But I feel like I do let my emotions guide me, so I would disagree.
I I would agree. I find it difficult to relate to people full stop. So I just have to agree with that. And then moving on. When looking for a movie to watch, you can spend ages browsing the catalog. Yeah, I think I spend more time looking for videos than I do watching videos.
I, yeah, I do that as well, but if someone else is picking, I'll watch anything. So maybe I'll go in the middle for this, because I'll just be like, just pick something, I don't care what it is, even if it's like a random select button. You can stay calm under a lot of pressure. Disagree.
I would also disagree. We agree with disagreeing on this one. We can't handle any pressure at all. And that's why, like I was saying last week, that YouTube is like the perfect platform for us, because there really is no pressure. It's just all on our terms.
I love that for us. When in a group of people you don't know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation. All the way disagree. I would never even be with a group of people I don't know.
Yeah, I would also completely disagree with this. I think
Jumping into conversation, not my strong suit. Even jumping into my own conversation is not my strong suit.
no, yeah, I'm definitely carrying the conversation, but I'm giving you chances to speak and stuff. And I feel like strangers just wouldn't do that.
Right? Yeah, they would. They would not be here for me to just jump into their conversation. I think me and them would both hate that. When you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical. Yeah, I think I basically just always have nightmares.
Oh, that says something about you. That actually explains a lot about you. I would disagree. My dreams are really boring. I mostly dream that I'm like online or just like watching YouTube or something.
That's, I mean, that sounds like a consequence of being in lockdown too long.
No, it kind of is. I feel like your brain just bases stuff on the world that you see, and so for me it just sees a computer screen all the time. So that's not bizarre or fantastical.
That's pretty boring.
In your opinion, which is of course the only opinion that counts, that's my favorite opinion, is it sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life? Oh, I would say no.
This is okay. That's quite nice of you. Explain.
Well, first, I mean, you're saying no as well, right? You better not be stepping on me.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely saying no as well. But I expected you to say yes.
No, I think for me it's kind of a, as much as I love myself, I think everyone should love themselves that much, and actually, I wouldn't want someone to step over me or whatever the phrase is, so I wouldn't do it to them, kind of thing.
Well, that is actually pretty compassionate of you. That was almost empathy. You imagined other people being like yourself. Wow, good for you.
Yeah, that was like a moment. Like I'm like a real person. Can you believe? You are dedicated and focused on your goals, only rarely getting sidetracked. I would slightly agree. I get sidetracked easily. Um, but but I am dedicated and focused. So no, I don't understand how to answer the question. But no, I'm definitely, yeah, I dedicate it and I'm willing to work hard to get to my goals. But I wouldn't go all the way agree because I'm not perfect at it.
I would disagree. I don't think I'm dedicated or focused at all. I think getting sidetracked is what I do. That's all I do. I'm so sidetracked from getting sidetracked that I ended up on a podcast with you, and that definitely wasn't my goal at all.
Uh, okay, but you're enjoying it now because we're playing a game.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this, to be honest. If anything, this is like a sidetrack in itself, just doing a personality quiz.
If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your abilities, or your knowledge. Disagree. I like I've said before, I don't really feel like I make mistakes. I kind of stand by everything I've done, and that includes the stuff that's like wrong. Like you could call it a mistake, or you could call it a just an experience where you did it wrong, and it was a learning experience, and it's part of your journey towards getting better at stuff. Because You can think you're perfect, but also think that you need to improve at everything. Because when I say I'm like perfect and I love myself, it doesn't mean I'm the best thing that ever happened in the universe. It means I'm the best that I can be.
Wow, this is we're seeing into your soul here.
Yeah. So so I so making a mistake wouldn't make me doubt myself. It would make me I'd be like, "Oh, that's where I am right now. This is my life. These are my choices. I'm going to stick by them, but also now improve and not make that mistake again."
This I really didn't expect this depth of character from you. If I make a mistake, I would doubt myself. I honestly, I'm like always this close to giving up on everything. When I make a mistake, especially if other people see the mistake, I'm just like, oh, I wish I'd never even tried. I wish I'd never done that.
Oh, that's sad. No, you should keep going even if you make mistakes because that's the only if you're enjoying doing something, it doesn't matter that you suck at it. You just keep doing it because you're still enjoying it. Stop if you're not enjoying it anymore. But like it doesn't matter if you just mess up all the time. That's part of the experience of doing it. When at a social event, you really try to introduce yourself to new people. Mostly talk to the ones you already know. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. I'm probably not really going to talk to the ones I mostly already know anyway, but I would stick with them.
Right. Yeah, because you're just if there was a social event, you wouldn't even be there in the first place. So you'd just be waiting for a lift home.
Okay, that was that was cruelly accurate. You usually lose interest in a discussion when it gets philosophical.
Wow, that was the biggest word you've ever said.
Um, okay, you can shut up.
Um, philosophical. Do you engage in philosophical conversations?
I feel like honestly, I'm usually the one to start them on this, so I would disagree that I lose interest. I would say I gain interest.
I would say I lose interest. I don't want to talk about, even though I feel like I'm being quite philosophical today for me, but it's because I'm talking about myself. If we start talking about the universe and the meaning of life, I'm out.
No, yeah, okay, I won't bring that up. But yeah, no, it's not that kind of podcast.
It's not that kind of podcast.
You would never let your cry. You would never let yourself cry in front of others. I'm neutral on this. I don't really have an opinion on this.
I would, I would never. And we can just move on.
You feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere. No, disagree. Disagree.
You didn't even finish reading the question. You would feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than to more quiet and intimate. Okay, I disagree with you as well. Moving on, because we've talked about this before. How we just want to both be in empty, quiet places.
You like discussing different views and theories on what the world could look like in the future. I would disagree on that. I don't think there's any. Those conversations would turn very negative, I feel, all the time.
I I like future things, and I like retro future things and space age things. I would agree. I think that can be fun. You do have to like consciously avoid all the negative things, but I think that the fun bits are really fun. When it comes to making life-changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. I would disagree. I listen to my head.
I would listen to my. I feel like I would weigh it up. I'm pretty neutral on this. Maybe slightly towards heart.
Really?
Well, yeah, because even if it's like sometimes you like weigh up all the logical stuff and you're just like, but that's what I want to do, so you end up doing it. You've just gotta go with your heart, don't you?
Well, no, but okay. You cannot imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something that you cannot see, touch, or experience. Oh no, this is philosophical. I absolutely cannot imagine myself dedicating my life to that stuff.
I also agree. Dedicating my life to something in general, not not the thing for me. You usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive. No, disagree. I I would rather forgive or just stay neutral. Just like move on. You don't have to forgive everyone to move on from it. You can get closure by yourself and just bury it deep in a little box and lock the box and tuck it underneath the bed inside your brain.
Okay, this sounds like a talk for therapy, but I also agree with you that I would rather just move on, or maybe slightly hold on to a grudge, but never revenge. Like, no. Who has the time?
You often make decisions on a whim. Agree.
I would I would disagree. I usually plan things before I even say them out loud, so it might sound like I'm doing it on a whim, but I've actually spent the last 6 months thinking about it.
Oh, that is very you.
Yeah. The time you spend by yourself often ends up being more interesting and satisfying than the time you spend with other people. I think we both have to agree with this because we love the time that we spend alone. That's what we're doing right now. And we're doing a really good job by having fun.
You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning of a message. Or what? I can't read.
I'll take it. You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning or the message of a song or a movie.
Like theorizing?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. If it's really abstract, I might kind of think, oh, this is what it really meant.
No, for me, if it's really abstract, I'm just gonna take it as abstract, and maybe that's all it is.
You always know exactly what you want. Yes.
Yes.
Great. We had something in common.
You rarely think back on the choices you made and wonder what you could have done differently.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, once I've made a terrible decision, I just try and move on.
I mean, I don't think about what I could have done differently because I'm just like, that's a waste of time. And this is where we are now. So we'll make the most of this. When in a public space, usually stick to quieter and less crowded areas. Yes,
Yes,
we both agree on this.
you tend to focus on present realities rather than future possibilities. Yeah, I think about the present.
And no, I don't know. I think about future possibilities a lot.
You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. Okay, I would I would slightly disagree. I think I'm pretty good at that. I'm not the best. I'm working on it.
I would agree. I do have a hard time. And honestly, I would love so much if people just explicitly just said exactly how they felt so that I knew.
That sounded like it had a lot of built up feelings behind it.
See, oh, look at you understanding other people's feelings. I mean, you're getting good at that, but also this is not the podcast for that. Don't do that. When starting to work on a project, you prefer to make as many decisions upfront as possible. Yes, I do. That's exactly what I want to do.
I working on a project. If I'm working on a project, yeah, I would make the decisions up front. That isn't that kind of part of working on the project?
Exactly. Who's gonna leave it until it's too late? That was like your job. If you decided to work on something, you should decide where it's going and how it's happening. When you know someone thinks highly of you, as everyone does, you also wonder how long it will be until they become disappointed in you. Okay. No, I don't give any thought to that. That sounds like a terrible way to live.
So that's how I live. Yeah, I think that's like part of my what did we call it in the other episode? Anxious energy or something. That I definitely kind of even when people are nice to me, I'm like ready for them to realize that that was a mistake.
You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Disagree.
Both disagree.
This is not the skill set that we have, that's for sure. You often drift away into daydreaming about various ideas or scenarios. No, not really. I'm very much for reality.
No, I daydream just a little bit. Like right now, I'm daydreaming that I'm not here and then I'm like out camping or something.
Oh, I love that for you.
But
We can go camping. I'll go camping with you.
is this a wait? Are we actually making plans on air?
We'll take this off air.
But really, I'm I'm like down. That sounds fun.
Yeah, no, we can record stuff while we're camping or something, I don't know. And call it a business expense.
This isn't a business.
No, but we'll call it that's what people do. They call it a business expense, and then somehow they make money.
Question mark, question mark, question mark, profit?
Exactly. That's what people online seem to do. So we'll just do that. And I could do with some profit, to be honest. You look after yourself first, and others come in second. Okay, Everyone thinks I'm selfish, but for this question, I feel like I disagree. I feel like I naturally look after myself so I don't have to think about it. So I try and put other people first to kind of make sure that they keep up with me.
Oh, I like that. I would say I kind of do look after myself first. I feel like, not even in a selfish way, but like, I feel like I don't have the capacity to start looking after other people. I'm like barely looking after myself.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah,
You have to you have to look after yourself first because if you stop actively looking after yourself, then you end up you're the one falling behind.
exactly. And then honestly, and then I would like become a burden on everyone else. So it's in everyone's best interest that I really try and look after myself. Even when you've planned a particularly, wow, I really can't read today.
It's okay. It's okay. You're not the smart one. I'll read it. Even when you have planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at any given moment. I would slightly disagree. I usually do have a kind of plan for the daily routine, but it usually is the stuff that I want to do, so it kind of works in my favor.
I would completely agree. I usually just end up doing what I feel like doing at any given moment, for sure. That's all I do. It's just what I want to do at that moment. Because it's like going back to the previous question. Like,
That you're barely looking after yourself, so if you want to do something that day, you're gonna do it because that's part of looking after yourself.
yeah, something like that. And also, I just really, really suck at following any kind of routine. So that's just not in my skill set. Your mood can change very quickly. I would disagree. I feel like my mood's pretty stable. It's always
Yeah, you're always chill.
right. Yeah, I'm always chill. Yeah. What about you?
I would say my no, well, no, I think it can change quickly, but it always kind of changes back quickly. I feel like I'm upbeat, and then if someone annoys me, like 2 seconds later, I'm upbeat again. So that's like a quick change, but it's also really stable. That's a hard question to answer. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Disagree.
I would I would also disagree. I don't like yeah, I
Yeah, let's not.
it's not that kind of, like you said, it's not that kind of podcast. Let's not get into that. You often talk about your own feelings and emotions. I would slightly disagree. I should probably talk about them more.
I think you talk about them enough, but for me, I disagree also. That I don't talk about. I mean, I talk about like surface feelings and emotions, but not to get real on you, but like I don't talk about my real feelings and emotions. They're just like completely even I don't know what they are. They're super buried deep. Are we almost done?
Well, I think we're almost done. You've got a detailed education or career development plan stretching several years into the future. Disagree.
I would also disagree.
We don't have any kind of plans. But you'd probably like plans.
Yeah, I think I'd like plans. We were talking last episode about the idea of getting into some kind of art or fashion design course and how if I did that I'd probably be able to get through it. I think that's almost thinking about education plan for the future.
You rarely dwell on your regrets. I agree. I don't dwell on them at all.
I mostly agree, yeah. I don't really have regrets.
Right. That's what you said.
Yeah, yeah, so it's hard to work out if I would dwell on them or not. I think I probably wouldn't. Spending time in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people around quickly makes you feel drained and in need of a getaway. Absolutely agree. Even spending time around you, which is just one person, is pretty draining. I don't think I could do it all day.
Uh, okay. I mean, I'll take that because I think you just called me dynamic. You said I have a dynamic atmosphere. But I would also agree that being around people is draining.
You see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary. I would agree. I'm pretty realistic.
I I think I'm visionary. I'd love to be a visionary. I'll go with that. You find it easy to empathize with a person who's gone through something you never have. I think I'd be in the middle here. I think that's a challenge, but I would really try.
I completely disagree. I would not be able to do that at all. So just completely disagree. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energies than to organized and consistent efforts. Um, Work style. Do I have a work style? Spontaneous burst of energy definitely sums up how we record this podcast, where we're like, hey, do you have enough spontaneous energy to record right now? Yes, great, let's do it. So I'd agree on that.
I would I would slightly disagree. I feel like for me, I'm kind of ready to go at any point. Like, not with a huge burst of energy, but like with the consistent effort, like it said. So I'm slightly more of a consistent effort person.
Your emotions control you more than you control them. Disagree, I'm in full control.
I would, I would, uh, I think I'm neutral on this one. My emotions control me, or I control them. Yeah, I'm neutral on this. I feel like it's a perfectly healthy balance. After a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need. Disagree.
I would disagree too, that sounds like hell, that sounds like more work, that sounds like more exhaustion.
You frequently find yourself wondering how
You really can't read today. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancement could change everyday life. I agree, I love technology.
I would completely disagree. I hate technology. I mean, we kind of rely on it, but I find myself wondering, what if we just didn't have it? That's kind of my mindset. That's like, you know, I'm just really not here for it.
Okay, great. You're sounding more and more depressed as we go through this, so you always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something. Agree, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna not do it if it's gonna affect them badly, you know what I mean? But I will. I like always think about how I affect other people, and then I'll just do what I want anyway.
I would agree, but not in the selfish way that you agreed, because I'm like, yeah, I would definitely think about how stuff affects other people. Like even the lack of technology that I was just talking about. Like I'm not saying let's get rid of technology because that would affect some people in a really bad way, like life support machines and emergency contact and all that stuff. But I'm really just thinking about going camping now. I can't believe that really might actually happen.
Yeah, yeah. You deserve something nice, and we'll take as little technology as possible. Except I'm gonna absolutely take everything that I can, but like, you don't have to use it.
I Okay, deal. I like that. Do you still honor the commitment?
You still honor the commitments that you actually. Do you wanna? Sorry, I keep like talking over you when you struggle to read. Maybe you should just. Do you wanna have another go? And we can edit. We can edit.
You okay? You still honor the commitments you have made, even if you have a change of heart. Yes, I had a change of heart as soon as we started recording the first episode of this, and I stayed committed.
I, I didn't know that about you. That does make a lot of sense. And I would say also yes. If I've made a commitment to something, I would just keep going. I might complain the whole time, but I'd still keep going. Do you wanna read the next one? It's a short question.
Okay, you rarely feel insecure. I would say I always feel insecure.
I would say I never feel insecure, so I love that we're opposites on that. And then your gender is optional, so we can both just skip that.
I put other.
I love that for you. I also put other. I was just pretending to skip it. And now we're gonna look at our results, and we got different.
We got different. Oh my god. So okay, you go first.
Okay, I got ISTJA.
And I got ISFPA. So we're both IS personalities.
I got the logistician. Logistician. I guess that means I'm logical. And the little avatar thing looks like a little inspector or something.
And I think this fits me. I got the adventurer, and it's like a little person dressed to go camping, and they've got a little camera. I mean, I wouldn't take a camera with me, but I love that.
Yeah, I love that for us. I think that's actually pretty accurate. So we can see each other's little charts, and it shows that we were both 100% introverted, which I think makes sense.
And we're both half and half between intuitive and observant.
Yeah, but we both are slightly more on the observant side. I think that's kind of from being kind of outside social groups and stuff and struggling to empathize with people. Then it says the nature trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. And mine was mostly thinking, like two-thirds thinking and one-third feeling, which I feel is accurate for me.
And mine was 25% thinking, 75% feeling, which I think is accurate for me. Like, I do think some of the time, but I'm mostly feelings driven.
Then the tactics trait says I do a lot of judging and less prospecting.
And I do more prospecting and less judging. I don't know what that means, but you're definitely more judgmental than me, so that's accurate.
I don't know if that's what that means. And then when it comes to our identity, we were both A between assertive and turbulent. I don't really know what that means, but it said mine was very assertive, 85% assertive, and yours was like 50% assertive.
Yeah, so somehow that's not surprising that you're more assertive than me. It says it shows how confident we are in our abilities and decision. Oh, okay, so you're like 85% that you actually like who you are, and I'm 50% that that absolutely sounds right.
And then it shows us another avatar thing. So this time mine is a little professor who's built robots. I love that for me. I would say that's also pretty accurate.
Mine shows an artist. It's like a painter, so I'll take that. I like that. I think these are both kind of really accurate.
Okay, it shows famous logisticians. So these are people who have the same personality type as me. Sting, I don't know anything about him. Denzel Washington, I don't know anything about him. Angela Merkel, Natalie Portman, and Anthony Hopkins. Okay, I don't think I'd want to hang out with any of them. That's a lot of big personalities.
Okay, for mine, uh, it says adventurers you may know. Lana Del Rey, Jungkook, John Jungkook is he from BTS? Avril Lavigne, Kevin Costner, and Frida Kahlo. Love that because I know who she is. And is that Avril Lavigne the old Avril Lavigne or the new Avril Lavigne?
I'm gonna guess this is the old Avril Lavigne, because the new Avril Lavigne doesn't have a personality. She's just a projection. She was like the first Vocaloid.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that, but um,
I think that's a perfect place to end the episode because it actually took us like the whole time to just do this quiz, and we didn't even have to make any jokes or any references to pretend that we had an ad break or anything. So it was all your pleasure to listen to me actually being deeper talking about my real personality. My name was Wren, and I'm going now. Bye.
yeah, bye. I was go. Bye. This was actually a fun episode. Bye. We're really gonna go camping.
Yeah.